Welcome to African Reads Comics, where we slice through the superhero multiverse with a machete of humor and a dash of shade. I'm your host, and today we're locking our sights on a DC icon who's been glowing green since 1940, Green Lantern. Now, before you Power Ring fanboys start typing angry comments, hear me out. This ain't a love fest. We're here to unpack a cosmic question. Why does Green Lantern suck? And trust me, by the end of this, you'll either be laughing, nodding, or ready to fight me in the comments. Spoiler, I'm ready for all three. For the uninitiated, Green Lantern is DC's space cop with a magic ring that lets him create anything he can imagine. Giant fists, spaceships, you name it, as long as he's got willpower and a charged battery. The OG Green Lantern was Alan Scott back in 1940, but most folks know Hal Jordan, the cocky test pilot who got his ring from a dying alien in 1959. He's part of the Green Lantern Corps, a galaxy-spanning police force. Sounds dope, right? Like a sci-fi James Bond with the jewelry obsession. But hold up, there's a catch. Actually, there's a whole pile of catches, and we're about to dig in. Let's start with the elephant in the room, or rather, the banana in the galaxy. Green Lantern's weakness to the color yellow. Yep, you heard that right. This dude can take on interdimensional warlords and save entire planets. But throw a lemon, a taxi, or a post-it note his way, and he's toast. It's like giving Superman a peanut allergy or making Batman afraid of bats. Wait, bad example. Bruce would probably weaponize that. Back in the day, this yellow nonsense was blamed on an impurity in the ring, some mystical flaw called the yellow impurity. Sounds like a rejected Star Wars disease. Picture Hal Jordan soaring through space, all heroic and glowy. Then bam, a villain rocks up in a yellow raincoat and it's game over. There's a classic comic where a baddie paints himself yellow and just strolls past Hal like, "Catch me if you can, loser." Another time, he's flailing against a giant yellow robot while the Justice League watches like, bro, really? Modern comics try to fix this by tying it to fear. Yellow's the color of the Sinestro Corps, who run on terror. So now Hal just has to overcome fear to punch through it. Cute retcon, DC, but it's still a clown show. Imagine a villain with a warehouse of yellow balloons. Pop, 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 and Green Lanterns down for the count. Why does this suck? Because it's the dumbest handicap in superhero history. Give me kryptonite or a solid left hook over this primary color pettiness any day. Next up, let's talk about the Green Lantern course and how DC turned a cool concept into a kaleidoscope of confusion. Originally, it was simple. Green ring, willpower, space corps, done. Then someone at DC said, nah, let's make it a mood ring multiverse and unleash the emotional spectrum. Now we've got a lantern for every feeling in your therapist's handbook. Green, willpower, the OGs. Yellow, fear, Sinestro's creepy crew. Red, rage, space hulks who vomit blood. Yep, that's a thing. Orange, greed, one dude, Laughless, who's basically a cosmic hoarder. Blue, hope, cheerleader vibes in spandex. Indigo, compassion, space hippies with a secret language. Violet, love, the Star Sapphires who fight in lingerie and heartbreak. It's like a Power Rangers reboot meets a self-help seminar. Sure, it's led to dope stories like the Sinestro Corps War, where yellow lanterns ran wild, but it's also a mess. New readers crack open a Green Lantern comic, expecting a space adventure, and get hit with a Crayola crash course. Wait, the orange guy's alone? Why is the red one so mad? Is this a superhero book or a feelings chart? And the lore keeps piling up. Power, batteries, guardians, oaths for every color. It's the United Nations of space, but with more bureaucracy and worse fashion. Why does this suck? Because it's overkill. Green Lantern was fine as a lone wolf with a cool ring. Now it's a rainbow soap opera. And I'm just trying to keep my colors straight. Now let's get into some of Green Lantern's biggest flops. Storylines that make you wonder what the writers were smoking. Exhibit A, Emerald Twilight. In 1994, Hal Jordan's hometown, Coast City, gets wiped out by Mongol and cyborg Superman. Hal's understandably pissed, so he tries to rebuild it with his ring. The Guardians, those smug little blue dudes who run the Corps, say, "Nah, that's against the rules." Hal's response? He goes full supervillain, slaughters half the Green Lanterns, smashes the Corps, and becomes Parallax, a yellow-clad psycho. Bro, it's like if Spider-Man tortured Queens because he missed a rent payment. Fans were split. Some thought it was bold. Others were like, "You ruined my boy." It took years of retcons like Green Lantern Rebirth to scrub that stain off Hal's record. Bold move, DC, but it's a neon sign of how to tank a hero. Then there's the 2011 Green Lantern movie. Oh Lord. Ryan Reynolds in CGI tights, a script that felt like it was written by a malfunctioning AI, and a villain who looked like a cloud with a face. It was supposed to kick off a franchise, but barely flopped so hard, Reynolds roasted it in Deadpool. Even the post-credit scene couldn't save it. Sinestro turning yellow was the only bright spot, and it led nowhere. Other flops. How about Hal fighting the shark, a literal shark with legs? Or the 70s run where he and Green Arrow preached about social issues like a cosmic after-school special? Why does this suck? Because Green Lantern's got infinite potential, but these missteps turn him into a punchline instead of a powerhouse. Alright, I hear you in the back. Stop hating. What about the good stuff? Fine, let's give Green Lantern his flowers, but don't expect me to get all mushy. Jeff Johns' run, starting in 2004, is a fan fave. He brought Hal back from Parallaxville, beefed up the Corps, and dropped bangers like Blackest Night, where dead heroes rise as zombie Black Lanterns. It's dark, epic, and proves Green Lantern can shine when the writing's tight. The animated series, Green Lantern, the animated series, also slaps. Great visual, solid stories, and a space opera vibe that hooks you. And shout out to John Stewart, the Black Green Lantern, who broke barriers in the 70s and stole hearts in the Justice League cartoon. He's the stoic, no-nonsense architect we stand, even if the comics sometimes sideline him. Representation matters, and John's a win, period. So Green Lantern's got gems, but let's keep it real. These highs don't erase the lows. He's like a cousin who's cool at the cookout, but keeps tripping over his own feet. Doesn't totally suck, just, mostly. Time to stir the pot with some spicy opinions. Grab your popcorn. Is Green Lantern overpowered? His ring can make anything. Tanks, mechs, a giant Beyonce to slay the competition. Fans say it's too much, and yeah, it can flatten stakes when you should just imagine a win button. But then he's always making boring stuff like walls or fists. Bro, you've got a cosmic 3D printer. Dream bigger. Should the call simplify? Trim the rainbow. Keep it green versus yellow. And call it a day? Tempting. Less clutter. More focus. But the Spectrum's birthed classics, so maybe it's a necessary evil. Still, I'd trade the indigo hippies for a nap. Best Green Lantern, Hal's the poster boy, John's the goat, Kyle's the artsy vibe, Guy's the loudmouth, and Jessica Cruz, our anxious Latina queen, deserves more love. My pick, John, hands down, fight me. Wild take, Green Lantern's better in team-ups. Solo, he drowns in lore. In Justice League, he's the snarky rookie who bounces off Superman and Batman. He's the seasoning, not the main dish. What's your take? Drop it below. I'm ready to argue. So why does Green Lantern suck? We've got a yellow allergy that's a cosmic laughingstock, a rainbow core that's more extra than a Nollywood wedding, and storylines that crash harder than a spaceship with no brakes. But he's got redeeming moments. Great runs, dope characters, a legacy that's lasted decades. It's not a total write-off, just 60% soakage, 40% swagger. That's my verdict, African Reads Comics fam. What's yours? Is Green Lantern a flawed king or a glowing flop? Hit the comments, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for more superhero shakedowns. Until next time, in brightest day, in blackest night, no evil escapes my sight unless it's yellow, then I'm out. Peace.